sir. Good enough? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, yes. Rita, thanks for bringing your husband up. We often wondered whether you did that, husband. Eric, being on the world stage, guests. The best do what the rest are not prepared to do. That movie certainly epitomized that. That was my title for my presentation today. Often people join Toastmasters because they're afraid of public speaking, and you've heard it's higher than death. I think death comes out number 7. I mentioned that one day to a lady, and she said, "Oh, that's obvious." What do you mean it's obvious? She says, "Well, if you die, you won't get embarrassed." Unless she had a real good take on that. When we talk about the best do what the rest are not prepared to do, I've been talking a lot to athletes lately on the same subject. Because there's a continuum, and Carol Dweck's book, The Mindset, she talks about the be good mindset and the get better mindset. The be good mindset is often the person who does well, and they're a natural, and then they go to protect that mindset. The get better mindset is out there wanting to find ways to get better. Toastmasters offers us this incredible opportunity. I was very close to that be good mindset after competing in the World Championship. Like, hello. I wanted to protect that because, after all, I'd been to the finals. And then I realized that the only way that I'm going to grow is if I challenge myself and move forward in the Toastmasters programs, whether it's the leadership program, the communication program, or the competitive speaking. I love this quote from the adversity quotient. He said, "If the goal is to die young, as late as possible, we must work to preserve our youthful gifts like passion for the duration of our life." Oh, wow. Keep the passion for the duration of your life. Joy, exuberance, enthusiasm, wonder, curiosity, amazement, and passion are all too easily killed by life's adversities. And I was asked to be the interviewer of a guest speaker that my son had at a Leaders Summit conference at Royal Roads. This man was up there in the world of entrepreneurs. He has the largest business school for master's degrees in business administration in Japan. His vision was to have that, and he's achieved it. He also is a venture capitalist and does very well there. But in preparing for the interview, I was reading his blog. And 2 weeks before I was interviewing him, he talked about being down in Kagoshima. And he said, "I went to this turtle farm, and they let me release this baby turtles into the ocean." And he got out in his bathing suit and released the baby turtles into the ocean. And he said, "What happens to these turtles?" And he said, "Well, some make it back, some don't. They're going to have to overcome adversity." And he said, "That's when I decided I would take and make sure that with my 5 sons, I'm going to plunk them down into different parts of the world." Now he can afford to do that. "And see how they survive. See how they overcome adversity." I said, "And is that why you were at Shottigan School yesterday?" He said, "Yes." Yes, he has. I contacted him later, and yes, he signed his son up to Shottigan Lake School for 5 months. It's not quite like being one of the turtles, but it's getting him out there. And then he said, "For years we thought a predictor of success was IQ. For many years. When I was teaching school, boy, we did that IQ test, and we, the people with the high IQ were often the people who were in the be good category, and they'd be in school, at university, and their professor would be speaking, and they put their hand up, and they say, "Is that going to be on the exam?" He said, then we went to EQ. How many are aware of EQ? Emotional quotient. That's delayed gratification. He said, forget them all. It's AQ. Adversity quotient. He said adversity quotient is the key to determining whether people will be successful. If that movie didn't talk about adversity quotient and the people getting adversity quotient, I'm not suggesting you have your leg cut off, you go through an umpteen dozen surgeries, you just press yourself a little bit more in your Toastmasters experience. I then looked up, or one of my clients actually looked it up and put me onto it, Stoltz's book, The Adversity Quotient in the Workforce. It could be the adversity quotient anywhere. And there's a way to measure your AQ. My AQ, when I measured it, came out reasonably high. I can still go higher. That's why I decided on today's presentation to make it a manual speech and perform within the time. And in the book, they talk about three kinds of people: quitters, campers, and climbers. The quitters we know about. They're in the workforce. They actually have quit. They may still be showing up. The campers are in the workforce. You may have met some of them, right? The campers are in the workforce. They were formerly climbers, but now they're just hanging out at the campground. The climbers are looking for new adventures and trying to stretch out. Think about this for the people that take their Winnebago to the campgrounds. Gather up a little fire and have my TV and my Winnebago. And I can venture a little way, or maybe down to the information center. But the climber is out there stretching out. We all have the opportunity in the Toastmasters experience to get AQ points. I like to talk about it as AQ points. You can get it through your educational program by stretching out, as I wanting to do every time I get up. And today it was take one more shot at the manual, the advancement. But it can also happen by being in the leadership track, which is Glenn's on that, or by competing. If we're going to compete, we have to have a clear picture of where we're going. How many know where the World Championship of Toastmasters International will be this year? It is where?
Cincinnati.
Where is it the year after?
Kuala
Lumpur. So if anybody wants to compete in the World Championship in 2014, they better get a clear picture of being in that championship in Kuala Lumpur. Maybe some of us could be there just to be cheering them on. I challenge people in this area to think about getting your AQ points through competition. Mr. Gillespie.